Hi, and welcome to the Essential Sports Podcast. Today we're going to be talking about Elimination Chamber and just Elimination Chamber, since it is coming up this weekend. Today we don't have Josiah on the pod. He doesn't really know a whole lot about WWE. So today we brought on my girlfriend Leah
Hi.
because me and Leah are big WWE fans.
Big
We
fan.
we watch it weekly
Yep.
and yeah, stay up on top of it. And yeah, we're gonna be talking about just the overall elimination chamber and kind of going through
We
it.
also are very critical of the WWE. So that's why we're here. To
Yeah,
spill the tea on WWE. That rhymed.
WWE,
That rhymed.
big rhymer. But
Sorry. I'm leaving.
oh
God.
god. But yeah, anyway, so kind of we're gonna start off by going in the order that we think it's gonna go.
There's 5 matches on the card total. So
Yeah. First match we're going to be talking about is the chamber match for the United States title. The participants that we have are U.S. champion Austin Theory, former champion Seth Rollins,
Ooh.
Johnny Gargano, Damian Priest from Judgment Day, Bronson Reed, who, I mean, he just kind of came back. We don't know a ton about Bronson Reed, and Montez Ford. Yeah. So yeah, tell
Well,
us your thoughts.
do you want to do my predictions first?
Yeah, sure.
So I'm an avid Seth Rollins fan. I mean, we both are, but we love Seth Rollins. I would love to see him take the title back because I just want more of Seth Rollins on my TV screen because he's a meme and I just like to see what outfit he wears every time, and I think he's a really good wrestler, but I think Austin Theory will retain because there's been speculations and rumors about him calling out John Cena for a Mania match because in true John Cena fashion, he's just gonna come and wrestle one match for the year, so
Hmm.
he's still technically wrestling and has a 1-0 record, whatever. But yeah, I want Seth to win because I love Seth, but I think Austin will retain, unfortunately.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I'm thinking. I think that there's a number of different ways that WWE could really go with this. I think that they could have Seth Rollins win the belt, and then they have a big match at Mania to kind of get Seth into a Mania match. I don't really see Johnny Gargano winning. I see like there's a 0% chance that he wins.
Yeah, the only thing they've mentioned is Johnny Gargano is Austin Theory's old NXT tag partner, so you know there's going to be something within the match about those two. But
Hmm.
and then who's Bronson Reed? We don't
Yeah,
know.
we got
Some
Bronson Reed. That should be interesting. I think that'll be a nice test to kind of see how he is as a wrestler.
Yeah, they're putting a lot of eggs in that basket to put him because a lot of the people in this match are very um, what's the word? Seasoned.
Hmm.
And I think I don't know. I think I do like how diverse the match is. There's a lot of different people in there, like
Hmm.
wrestling styles. I really like Damian Priest. I like watching him wrestle. I think he's a powerhouse as a wrestler, and I love watching Montez Ford wrestle. Like he's up there with Ricochet for flops around all the time. And,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's super exciting. He's super
I
exciting.
think it'll be a good match.
Yeah, but kind of how I see the match going is I see Austin Theory retaining. I think that they need to give credibility to his title reign. And I mean, he lost the cash in and then beat Seth Rollins by Bobby Lashley's interference. And then he's had sketchy wins and he just talks a lot of shit. I mean, I like his character. He's a heel. I mean, he's a young heel kind of developing his character. And so I feel like it'll be a good thing to have him retain, but I feel like it should be in like he makes a statement when he wins. Like he pins Seth for the belt clean. Like or
Yeah.
even Johnny Gargano since they used to be good friends. Um, and yeah, I think that could be an interesting way to really play out that match. I think that it could really get the crowd in Montreal riled up a little bit
Yeah.
before kind of like the more
I
bigger
agree.
matches in the night.
I agree with what you said. He needs to prove himself because he talks a lot of smack, but also I think it might be a sense of they want him to talk a lot of smack, but not have to back it up because that makes us hate him more as a crowd. So the thing is, I would not be surprised if they had him win in some stupid way because I mean, that's a big reason we hate people like the Bloodline, because they're like, we're the best, woo, and then they cheat all the time. So we're like,
Hmm.
well, great,
Yeah,
they
exactly.
won. But I don't know, I think it'd be a really good match. The only thing I'm like iffy about is what they're going to do with Seth for Mania. We were talking about, he had a segment for Miz TV on Raw recently, and they talked about Logan Paul a lot of
Hmm.
the time, and you brought up that you think there might be a Logan Seth match at Mania, but
Yeah, I know that Seth's been talking a lot of shit on social media to Logan, kind of saying that he shouldn't even be in this industry because it
which
kind
is
of.
true. Sorry.
I mean, I disagree, but
I,
but um, and I mean personally, I think he's done great things for WWE already. I think he's a very talented wrestler. I think he's very underrated. Obviously, he's an internet personality, so everybody's like, "Why the fuck is he on here?" But I mean, everybody's seen in the Royal Rumble like that in the air move that he did with Ricochet. That was the highlight of the Rumble. Um, but anyway, I think that they could do something with that. Um, I know that he eliminated Seth in the Rumble, and that's kind of why Seth's been so pissed. It's been brought up all the time. The
yeah.
WrestleMania's in Los Angeles too. I don't know. I could really see it.
Yeah. I mean, I knew I was not about to come on this podcast and not talk about Logan Paul. So, I mean, I have very strong opinions about Logan Paul. I agree with everything Seth says about him, because I think The Miz asked him, why do you not want to talk about him? You never talk about him in the ring. And Seth is like, he doesn't deserve it. He only talks about him on social media. Seth posted something on Instagram just talking about how he's only there for the fame, the notoriety, and Seth kind of, and a lot of people, everybody in the roster, a huge amount, worked to where they are, and Logan was just kind of handed it to him, because I will not discredit his athleticism. That move at the Rumble with Ricochet was really awesome. He is a really good athlete. I'm not discrediting that. But
Yeah.
you can be the best athlete in the world, and if you're handed, well, do you want a match with the top title holder, Roman Reigns, because you're a douchey internet celebrity? Here you go. That's why I don't like Logan Paul. And also, I just don't like who he is as a person. And we're not going to get into that because there's a lot of things Logan has done. But,
Hey, drink Prime. That's all I'm saying.
okay,
But
alright. But I think that Seth and Logan match will happen at Mania, and I would love to see Seth kick Logan's ass. But I also don't want it to happen at Mania because I have a feeling they might have Logan win, which I think will bring.
yeah, maybe.
I think it will bring Seth down to a level that I don't want to see Seth go down to, because I think right now it sucks because they're not going to put him in the top title scene because Roman's in it, and the Roman Seth feud has been overdone. Like, we've seen it 1,000 times, Roman and Seth against each other. But let's say Cody Rhodes takes the title at Mania,
Hmm.
a very good opponent. They have history there, Cody and Seth.
Yeah,
So that could be put Seth into the main title. So
that could be interesting. That could be
I don't
interesting.
know. So yeah,
I think
but
that would be cool. Should we? But yeah, we both think Austin Theory is gonna retain.
yeah.
So
But it would be a good match. I think it'd be a really good match to watch.
yeah, so match one of Chamber, Austin Theory retains the United States title. The second match that we think is gonna be happening is Edge and Beth Phoenix versus Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor. Um, this one I think should be interesting. I know that Edge was kind of the founder of the Judgment Day, which Finn Balor is now the leader of, and I know that we weren't really watching whole lot when this first initially
Not really.
started, and so I don't entirely know how Beth was really tied into the story. I know that
I know.
obviously her and huh?
I know.
Oh, okay. Well, go for it.
I mean, it's just what happened was it was an I Quit match between, I think it was, I don't remember if it was Edge and Finn technically, or Edge. It was one of the people from the Judgment Day. Edge and someone was in an I Quit match and it just obviously went on forever because it was an I Quit match. And then how it happened and ended. Rhea had grabbed Beth and put her in the ring and put a chair around her neck.
Oh, actually, I never mind.
And
I knew that
she
happened.
went to go hit him with the chair, and Edge was like, I quit. No, don't do it. And Rhea did it anyway after he said he quitted because it's
Yeah.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah.
But that's kind of, obviously there was a lot of like build up and like promos to that, but they had a break for about 4 or 5 months, Edge and
Something like that,
Beth,
yeah.
and then came back during this past Rumble when the Judgment Day started eliminating a bunch of people, and then they
Dump
yeeted them
them
out
out.
of there. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, I think that match should be really good.
who do you got for your prediction?
For my prediction, I think Rhea Ripley and Finn Balor are gonna win because I just don't see. I mean, Triple H is the head of creative, and you've seen how he's done since he has started. I mean, and I think he's gonna continue building storylines. And I see Rhea getting the pin, I think, over Beth.
Okay.
And just because she just won the Royal Rumble from the number 1 spot, I mean, I don't really see them having her lose another like a pay-per-view match right before her
Mania.
biggest one ever, probably.
Yeah. No. I think I have like two ways. I think that could be a factor of it just because I don't think they're going to have Rhea lose technically because they're building her up so much right now. Which, side opinion, rightfully so.
Hmm.
I think Rhea Ripley is a great asset to the women's division. From what I've been seeing, she's honestly under Charlotte Flair because I'm biased, but under Charlotte Flair, I think she's best in the division right now.
Yeah, I think she's the now, if not the future.
Yeah,
Like,
and honestly, recently she's been getting up there over Charlotte for me, just because they haven't been utilizing Charlotte a lot. That's why I'm so excited
even
for
though
this
she's
Mania
champ.
match.
Yeah.
Even though she's champ, right? But I think, I mean, we can get into how they treat Charlotte Flair in WWE. But I think the other thing though I thought could happen is that Edge and Beth win to end the storyline, but it's Finn that gets pinned. So Rhea
Oh.
wouldn't technically be the one that's pinned at the end of the day. It might just be like Rhea's like
Kinda
just
that,
out
like,
of the ring, like, and she can't help him or something. Because it's,
yeah.
you know, I don't. I think that it may not be a storyline they're going to continue because if they do something along those lines, is it going to just be Edge and Finn again at Mania, or if that happens at Mania, I think it might be Judgment Day, like all the guys, because Rhea will be in a match already,
Hmm.
and then Edge might bring back some old superstars to do a tag match against
That'd be
them.
cool.
Because again, it's in LA. A lot of people live there, but I don't know who
Media
they bring
capital of
back.
the world.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know who they'd bring back to be in his tag team with him, but Mania might be like Edge and company versus the men of the Judgment
Maybe
Day.
he starts his own thing again like he did the Judgment Day. I
Yeah,
mean,
and then that's the thing. But either way, I don't think Rhea will get pinned. Period. I mean, I don't think so. But I see Rhea and Finn winning, but this one's a little 50-50 for me. But all I can confirm is I don't think Rhea will get pinned because she's on a trajectory right now. And if they, oh hey Ray,
yeah. Welcome, Ray, to the podcast.
this is my
Ray,
dog.
say hi. Hi, Ray.
She's a big WWE fan.
Yeah,
She loves Bianca Belair
and Braun Strowman
and
in
Braun
the New Day.
Strowman.
Those are her
But-
faves.
Yeah, so I think I don't think this will be an amazing match, to be honest. I mean, at the end of the day, Edge and Beth are on the older end of the spectrum, so I don't think they'll be able to go for that long. Does that not mean they're still jacked and great wrestlers? Yeah, they still are, but I doubt.
I feel like it'll be like a 20-minute match.
Yeah, and I think what's unfortunate is I don't think the match is very diverse because Edge and Finn, in my opinion, are both kind of similar in their wrestling style, but Rhea and Beth have the exact same wrestling style.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be kind of lame to see because I think matches are great when it's diverse. Like, I mean, we learned that from 2K, the video game. Like when you
Yeah.
have somebody that's smaller versus someone that's bigger, like it works better because you have someone to root for a lot easier. But to be honest, though, I'm not rooting for anyone specifically either in this.
I'm not really either. I mean, Edge used to be one of my favorite wrestlers growing up, and so obviously you're gonna root for those kind of guys. But
And Finn Balor's also a meme.
yeah,
So.
Finn Balor's a meme. Hey, did
His
you know?
bucket hat, the other, I don't remember what that was on, but
Oh yeah, his bucket hat. Did you know he has a cactus tattoo on his arm? Fun fact.
why?
I don't know. He has a bunch of patchwork. And it's a bunch of. He just started getting it,
He does cover up with his little sleeves usually.
Uh-huh.
So, you don't really
so
see
you
it.
can't really see anything.
But also, sorry, speaking of cosmetic stuff, Beth Phoenix's hair recently, I'm just gonna give it a little credit because it's been great. As a girl watching
Pretty sick.
WWE, her hair's been great.
It is pretty sick. Yeah.
It's cool. But, wanna go to the next one?
Yeah. So then for our third match of the night, kind of right in the middle, we got Bobby Lashley versus Brock Lesnar.
AKA Big Bob versus Texas Pete.
Yeah. Big
Uh,
Bob.
We call Bobby Lashley Big Bob, and they won one time on a Raw, I think, called Brock, Cowboy Brock.
Yeah.
And for some reason, that made me think of Texas Pete, so therefore we now call Brock Texas Pete. But this match will be interesting.
I don't really have a whole lot to say about this match. I mean, I feel like we've seen this. We've seen this a couple times. I mean, because what was it? What was he saying the other day? What's the record? I mean, Bobby Lashley eliminated Brock in the Rumble. Brock's jumped him like 5 times since, and same as Bobby. They had a contract signing the other day, and Bobby beat down on Brock. I know that in the past they were 1-1 against each other in title matches. I mean, it should be interesting. I mean, so kind of how I see it going. I mean, sorry about that. Ray has entered the chat. It's probably so loud. My bad. Sorry, technical difficulties.
How do you see the Bobby and Brock match going,
Okay.
Tyler?
Big Bob. So I mean, Bobby he lost a bunch of matches kind of in a row for a while. I don't really see them going anywhere with Brock into Mania. I feel like he's just gonna have like some big showdown with an older superstar that comes back, like a Stone Cold maybe. I got Bobby Lashley winning this match. I don't want Bobby Lashley to win, but I just think he's going to win. Personally, like, when I got back into wrestling when I was, like, 14, after I took about a 2-year break, Brock Lesnar was my guy. I loved Brock Lesnar for everything Brock Lesnar, so it should be interesting, but I got Bobby. What about you?
I think in my heart, you're gonna hear me say this a lot. In my heart, I want Brock to win, but in my brain, I know they'll have Bobby win. Because I think Brock doesn't have a lot of storyline options at the moment. I feel like Bobby does. And something that I predict also might happen if they do some, like, buffoonery with the match and have some people come in and ruin it. I don't think the Hurt Business got a run as they should as a faction.
Yep.
And I think they tried to do some weird thing with MVP and Omos. Nothing ever happened. I mean, Shelton Benjamin and Cedric, what's his name, Alexander?
Yeah,
are just
Cedric
like
Alexander.
enjoying the catering in the back at this point. So, I mean, I feel like it might be a sense of like, we're in the match, Brock is just going beast mode on Bobby, and then the Hurt Business comes out and helps
I could
him.
see that. That would be good. I'd like that.
So I feel like that, and they might do then something with the Hurt Business at Mania, because Bobby's now on this whole thing where he has all these lawyers and security guards, and he's in suits all the time, even though his shoes were dirty on the screen. I saw it on Raw.
Too.
But I think then that's also MVP's shtick through and through. And I mean, I think they just were a faction that didn't get a lot of credit, and I think that was mainly because of the COVID Thunderdome era kind of, I think, ruined it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they deserve a little bit more credit. I think they could do a lot with it. Don't get me wrong. I'm not a big fan of Bobby Lashley. Just his mic skills are a little lackluster. Oh, okay. She's not either, I guess. So, his mic skills are a little lackluster for me, but I think that's why they need to put him with people that he can play off of. So, don't get me wrong, love me some Cowboy Brock, Texas Pete, and his little stupid denim vest in Minnesota represent, but I don't think Brock is winning, and I think Bobby will win either way. I think it might be cool if they have people come out to help him, but yeah, I think Bobby has it, unfortunately. I think it will be a powerhouse versus powerhouse match, for sure, if that explains it. It's going to be a lot of fun people getting suplexed and speared and just over and over. But
I like that take. I think that's a good. I know that they were kind of teasing it a little bit with when he was talking to MVP a couple weeks ago. So that would be cool. I think that definitely needs another chance to be ran through. So yeah, I think that's a good prediction. I like that. So our fourth match. Let's move on to that. We got the women's elimination chamber, and this is going for Bianca Belair's title
Mania
at
match.
Mania. So
Yeah.
whoever wins this faces Bianca Belair at WrestleMania. The contestants are Carmella, Nikki Cross,
Sorry.
Asuka, Natalia, Raquel Rodriguez, and Liv Morgan. This one should be interesting.
I have no.
I want to hear your thoughts first going into it.
Basically on each person right now, my top. I don't know. This match could go a lot of ways, in my opinion. I think they have a lot of people right now that they could push, really. Because obviously, whoever wins this is getting a push. Like, you have a title match at Mania. Just plain and simple. But, I don't know. I think. Long story short, I think Asuka's gonna win because they have this whole new evil Asuka thing happening, which I love. Like, when she came out at Rumble, the fans and us included were like, what? Like, it was super cool. And you said something about how it was like her old look or something.
Yeah, before she was in WWE, she used to come out. My bad. She used to come out with this this face paint. I'll pop it up over here. But yeah, and also that 6-woman tag team match the other day. What happened in that?
Yeah, so there was some match. Was it Raw? Right? Not SmackDown. It was on Raw. They had a 6 tag. It was Carmella, Asuka, Nikki versus Raquel, Liv, and who am I missing? Nat. Yeah. So they had those, and Asuka just took over and even turned on her teammates and just basically effed up everybody and won for her team, even though she had just beat up her teammates. So I don't know. I think there's also a lot of rumors that she is Triple H's favorite women's superstar at the moment. I've read that a few places, but kind of under like second tier of that, I think Carmella has a good shot of possibly taking it just because she came back. They kind of gave her a little new look. They're pushing her. She did a match a while back. It was with like Piper Niven and random people. I don't remember, but
It was like Piper Niven. Was Lacey Evans in it or
maybe?
no?
It was just a random fatal. It was a chamber qualification match, and it was like Candice LeRae, Piper Niven, one other rando, and Carmella. And how she ended the match, I thought was really good. Like, she killed it. How she ended it and won. So I mean, she's been doing really great. Other one under that, I think that could possibly is Raquel. We thought that she was a possibility for a Rumble win, but they didn't. But I think they've been pushing her, and again, they even said it on commentary. A Raquel versus Bianca match would kind of be Raw because they're both big, strong, scary women, in my opinion. Like, those women literally could beat me up with one punch. Like, they are very strong people. So it's like, I thought somebody said, like, the battle of who has the strongest back between Bianca and Raquel. But I wouldn't mind. Raquel is a little lackluster for me. I know you agree that she's kind of... But I do like watching her wrestle. I think they are helping building her up a bit, but I think a lot is to consider is that it was a little trio between Bianca, Asuka, and Alexa Bliss, and I think that that Miss Bliss had her moment, and I'm not saying her first name because there's a echo dot thing there, and I don't want her to talk, but Miss Bliss had her moment with Bianca at Rumble, and we haven't seen her since, so I don't know what they're doing with that, but I think Asuka never really had her moment to turn on Bianca either. And Miss Bliss's thing was like, oh, I'm evil now. Bleh. Asuka's like, I'm evil. I look creepy. I have poison coming out of my mouth constantly. And it's not because of some random Uncle Howdy dude that just stands there and looks at people weird. It's because I'm Asuka. Bitch. So, I don't know. I think that she needs her chance. And I do not think that they have utilized Asuka enough at a Mania, and she is very inconsistent bookings, and I think they need to change that.
I like
Period.
that. Okay, okay.
Your turn.
Yeah, I like
Sorry, I
that.
went off on a rant.
You're good. On that rant, you basically covered all my takes. But I kind of, I mean, I'll just kind of break it, like go through every person, honestly.
Yeah.
Liv Morgan. I really like Liv Morgan. I
Yeah,
think I
Liv
like her
Morgan.
character. I like her vibe. She's not gonna win the match. Liv Morgan's not gonna win. Natalia, you're in the match because it's in Montreal. You're not winning the match.
No.
Nikki Cross, I'm plain and simple. You're just not winning the match.
I didn't even say her name. I don't even want to acknowledge that bitch.
Exactly.
Gross.
Yeah. But then Carmella, I think that she could win. I mean, my three that I see winning are the same ones as yours: the Carmella, Asuka, and Raquel Rodriguez. But I'm gonna go Asuka. For basically the same exact reason that you said. This new look. She's just came back. I think that she needs a push, and I think that her and Bianca would be a really good match too. I think it puts butts in seats. Like, I mean, to be honest, I mean that's what this pay per view is trying to build for. So I feel like they're gonna put either the hottest star, the biggest name, or whatever pisses people off the most.
Yeah.
And
It's hard
that's
to
how
not
you
talk
build.
about Mania if you're talking about Elimination Chamber. Because
Exactly.
it's like their last chance to make something happen before Mania, I guess. But
Yeah, exactly. So I got Asuka winning it. That's my prediction. So we'll be seeing Asuka versus Bianca Belair at WrestleMania either on
hopefully,
night one or night two, hopefully.
but I don't know where they're gonna place them in the cards. But
Yeah,
they
I
might
don't
have
know.
us like
I
an
mean,
opener.
I
One
mean
night or
maybe,
something.
but I mean if they probably will, because kind of how I see it, since there's like two nights. If they, I mean, depending on what they do with what we talk about next. Um, I mean, you have two main titles in each male and female. I don't see why you wouldn't have both be
Yeah,
openers and finishers.
because as of right now, Rhea and Charlotte are one main event, and Cody and Roman are one main event.
Yeah,
That is as of right now.
as of right now.
As of right now. Hopefully not, but that segues to our next topic.
Yeah. Well, normally we would have tossed in the Uso brothers having a tag team title match defending their belts, but going into this next one we're talking, we got um, Sami Zayn versus Roman Reigns.
This is gonna be a
Main
big
event.
topic that we're about to talk about.
Crazy match. Why I brought up the Usos before we dive into this, bunch of stuff's been happening. Obviously, we'll go through the story. Sami Zayn turned on the bloodline after being with them for 9 months. A lot of bad blood was building up for weeks. And then after Sami turned, everybody started to beat down on Sami, all but Jey Uso. Jey Uso ended up leaving the ring and just leaving the bloodline kind of because Sami was his family at that point.
Yeah, and he posted on social media like pictures that just said like I'm out and then like a blood drop next to it, and he just like because only the backstory of that backstory is he hated Sami to begin with, came around to Sami, and then kind of became like Sami's #1 supporter, stopped Roman from like calling him guilty in that little like court segment they did, like Jay
Tribal court.
tribal court, became his like biggest cheerleader, and so Jay kind of lost it and left the ring. So
Yeah. So, I mean, we saw Jay last week after taking a couple weeks off.
yeah, they did
Came
a whole
in,
thing about
defended
it.
the SmackDown Tag Teams titles because it's only for one.
It was
Um, who'd they face again? Who was that?
Braun and Ricochet.
Braun and Ricochet. Yeah. So Jay returns. They
Big
win
deal,
they
yeah.
keep the belts, and then Paul Heyman comes up to Jimmy after the match, after Jay has already left the arena, and lets him know that Roman wants them to watch it from home.
Yeah.
Since the match is in Canada, I know like some more personal things, like the Usos can't travel into Canada because of DUIs in the past. What?
I mean, they got cleared recently.
Oh, But still, I mean, it's
It's a
just
little late.
avoiding the problem,
Yeah,
basically.
it was a little. Basically, they couldn't travel, and they got cleared really last minute. So WWE was kind of covering their ass and didn't want to put them into anything for sure because they didn't know until recently that the Usos could travel. So I doubt they'll be there. Maybe they will now that they can. But
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, they're not in a match, but yeah. So now we kind of laid a little bit of the groundwork, you know. Uh, go off. Let's hear it.
All right. I have very strong feelings
Hold
about
a
this
little bit of the
match.
takes for me though. Hold a
Okay,
little bit.
okay,
Hold a
okay,
little
okay.
bit for
Okay,
me.
I won't
Hold
go
a little
off
bit for
off.
me.
I'll just talk about. We'll go a little bit one by one of what we think. First off, prediction. I want Sami Zayn to win this match, but he will not.
Acknowledge the tribal chief.
Rom.
Roman
So,
Reigns.
yeah, I don't know. Again, like I said, kind of in the Bobby match. In my heart, I want Sami to win. In my brain, I know they'll have Roman win. But I think when it comes down to it, WWE has a perfect opportunity with Sami in front of them, and I don't think they will take it. But at the end of the day, we kind of talked about it just privately, but like on our own time. Why I think this is because we've had this creative run by Vince McMahon for a really long time, and of course, if it was Vince, we'd have a Roman win or a Rock come and face Roman. But we are in the era of Triple H, and who knows? Maybe Triple H might just be like, we're just starting over. We're gonna do something crazy. But also, he's disappointed me time. Like, I thought Sami was gonna win the Rumble, and he didn't. They had Cody win, which we all knew was gonna happen. So, I mean,
And they didn't even put Sammy in the match.
they didn't even put Sami in the match. But, I mean, I don't know. I'm just preparing myself for disappointment at this point, which sounds bad, but I want Sami to win, but I don't think he will. What do you think? Who will win?
Okay. So, what I think is going to happen is it is going to be the craziest atmosphere probably that we've seen in a WWE match in 10 years.
I don't think we said completely. It is in Ontario, Quebec,
Montreal, Ontario, Canada.
Wherever, one of the ones. But
Yeah. Sami Zayn's hometown. He went to a game today, and I know in Canada. I don't remember what team the Montreal is.
something.
Canucks or
Something.
this thing. I don't know. I'm not a big NHL guy. Obviously, it looked dumb of me on a sports podcast not knowing what the hockey team was, but
It's Canada.
I'm not a hockey guy.
It's also
I'm not
a
gonna
different
lie. I'm not a
country.
hockey guy.
It's fine.
But anyway, I think it's gonna be the craziest atmosphere. I think it's gonna be super back and forth, and I think that they're gonna kind of play it out as kind of showing that Roman could lose this match. Like, I think Sammy's gonna have a big run, and I think it's gonna be probably like a 45-hour-long match.
Yeah.
Just a bloodbath. But I don't know. I have two ways I see this going. I see the Bloodline return, like the Usos coming out, and either I could see them turning on Sammy again, like Jay turning on Sammy and costing him the match, and then Roman's just beat him, and he's just standing over top of him like this with the belt, you know?
Great visual.
Or I see it, just Sammy and just somehow beating Roman. I'm like 20% positive that could happen, and I really hope that wins or that happens, but I just don't think it is. But my main prediction is Roman Reigns beating Sami Zayn going into WrestleMania to face Cody Rhodes.
But you think some like kind of tricky stuff might happen?
I think he's gonna get screwed out of the title. I think the ending of the match is gonna be really shaky.
Cheat. Someone's gonna cheat.
It's gonna. I mean, it's the Bloodline, right?
They're known for cheating.
They're known for cheating. I mean, the Bloodline somehow wins every match, even in some fashion. So, I think Sammy's gonna get screwed out of the title. I think everybody in the arena is just gonna pour booze. And then I could see Sami Zayn being thrown into that match at Mania. I
Have
think
it be a triple threat?
triple threat: Sami Zayn versus Cody Rhodes versus Roman Reigns, probably night 2 main event.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think that could be really cool. Or they don't have to put it on the triple threat. They could somehow build up a storyline. I don't know how they would do it, but build up this storyline to where, let's say Sammy gets screwed out of the belt, he makes this huge fuss. Roman defends both belts at WrestleMania. He defends one in the main event on night 1 versus Cody, and then night 2 main event versus Sammy.
Where would they put Charlotte and Rhea?
I mean, opener.
But it's a main event they win.
I mean, then they would just flip it. I don't know. That's just something I could see happening.
Yeah.
Just because it's time to split the belts. As much as we love Roman, I mean, he's Universal title as of today, 901 days. Hasn't been pinned in 105 matches, and he's never been submitted. You right? Isn't that?
He's never tapped out.
Never tapped out. I mean, I feel like it's time to humble the tribal chief. He is super controlling, and he's just talks down to his family all the time just to show how dominant he is. And I think everybody in the WWE universe is kind of getting tired of it, of his reign, and especially with Triple H coming in and creating this new atmosphere and just wave of how he runs the creative. And like you were saying, I think it's just the perfect opportunity to put a belt on Sami Zayn, a guy who deserves it, like almost more than anybody in the company. Like the two guys that you have going for the main belts are the two dudes who deserve it the most in the entire industry.
Yeah.
Like,
Agreed.
So I don't know. I would really like to see like the two matches happen at Mania, and you just split it up on night 1 and night 2. And I would love to see Roman get beat on both nights and both belts split, and then Sammy and Cody Rhodes are the new champs. I would love that personally. That would put the biggest smile on my face. but
No, yeah. I agree with everything. I think, like you said, the atmosphere of that match is going to be insane. Like, level of, I don't remember what year it was when it was Cena versus Van Dam in that, I think it was an ECW match, actually. And literally, like, everybody was flipping off the camera, just like, I remember John threw his shirt into the crowd and somebody threw it back at him because they hated John so much at that point. But I think the crowd's going to be insane. I think the crowds are already insane when they're not in Canada. And because Sammy is just on a white hot trajectory like right now. I think it's been said, I don't know if this is completely confirmed, but a lot of people have been talking about how WWE was not expecting and is starting to realize they have to deal with how popular Sammy is, because I don't think they thought he would be this popular. Like, we talked about it, that it seems right now from like a background perspective that they're like, oh yeah, we're gonna have Sami Zayn be the challenger for Roman, woohoo. And then all of a sudden they got a call and it was Cody Rhodes being like, hey, I'm cleared, can I come back? And they're like, oh right. And then basically they were like, okay, you know what? It's fine. Everybody loves Cody. It will be great. And so they just had Cody win the Royal Rumble, and they're like, no one will care. It was Sami Zayn. He was just this, like, memer in the bloodline. He was just there for comic relief. And then all of us were like, no, we love Sami Zayn. He has proved himself for the last 9 months, and we want him to be given what he deserves.
Facts.
With that said, there was an interview where Sammy sat down with somebody, I don't remember, just some random chick that was interviewing him. And Sammy himself said that he has an internal thing where he knows he's not the WWE poster boy look, which is a thing, and it sucks that that's a real thing, but just somebody who's really ripped, really dominant, like a Brock or a Cena or a Roman Reigns, and I think that's something to consider too. I think it's a lot of just, I think if Triple H just wants to take that leap for the company with creating a new, like, poster boy image for the company, which I think if he might have a, like, hesitation to do so, but if he really looks at it, the entire WWE fans would support, because we're all behind Sami Zayn right now, because he is a great wrestler. With that also said, we did not address the promo that happened on Raw between Sammy and Cody Rhodes. That was an amazing promo. If you don't know and didn't watch Raw, Sammy came out during Raw, which was kind of odd because he's mainly on SmackDown, and called and said like, "I'm gonna talk to Cody Rhodes," and Cody Rhodes came out,
Keep going. Keep going.
and Cody Rhodes came out, and basically it was him being like, "Hey, I believe that, like, or I want to know if you believe that I can beat Roman Reigns." He asked Cody. And Cody's like, I don't, like, that doesn't matter. It's if you believe you can. And it was just something we had never really seen before. At least from what I know, that it wasn't the person who has the Mania match is telling that telling a different person he wants to fight him. He's like, I want to fight you instead of Roman. Like, I want you to win because I think you deserve it. And it was super motivating. Like, Cody was like, all of these cracks in the bloodline, Sammy, are because of you. Like, everything's because of you right now. Everything with the Usos, with Roman just starting to kind of freak out, with Paul kind of being everywhere, like, and Sammy mentioned that Roman's in kind of this God mode era where he's untouchable and how he's seen people 10 times bigger than him go against Roman and fall. So I think it was really a unique promo in my opinion because it felt like Sammy and Cody were like basically pulling back the curtain on what was really happening. How Sammy was like, I've literally seen so many people go against Roman and not win. And that's how we all feel. We're like, who's next? Nope, they're not going to win. They're not going to win.
Yeah.
Let's just keep going. And Sammy even said, he's like, I don't know if I can do it. Which translated to me as he's going, I think I deserve, he said it, he's like, I think I deserve the title. I think I deserve this opportunity. And when he says, but I don't know if I can do it, in my mind that says, but I don't know if WWE will let me win. That's how it came off to me because it's not, as we know, it's not if Sammy can actually win. It's if Triple H goes to Sammy and says, "Are you winning this match tonight or you're losing?" That's what it is. So I mean, I don't know. I think it just sucks because we all think Sammy deserves it, and don't get me wrong, I think Cody deserves this match as well. Cody has proven himself time and time again, which is odd to me because Cody and Sammy kind of have the same build, in my opinion. Like when it comes to like a poster boy look.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this yesterday, but I think I agree with you, but at the same time, I feel like Cody Rhodes is more of somebody like face value. Like if you're looking at someone and you're like, this guy is a professional wrestler, you're looking at Cody Rhodes and you're gonna put him on the poster.
And it's like the family bloodline with Dusty too that backs him up a little bit.
100%, 100%, and then that's why I think so. But then again, I think Sammy is too, and that's why. I mean, he was saying he doesn't. I mean, in that pod that we were talking about, he was saying that he was. What was it? That he. I think you already said it, but couldn't be the face.
Yeah, he doesn't believe he could be a face of the WWE just because of his build and how he looks and that kind of stuff. But I don't know. I think that it is. I think they could make him a face of WWE if they really wanted to, because at the end of the day, we have been watching Sami Zayn wrestle for how long at this point? They have put him in character after character after character, and in my opinion, he's killed all of them. It's more just if we actually cared.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you know, like, when he had this whole, like, I'm a conspiracy theorist, we're like, okay, you're being a meme, but you don't really affect anything within the WWE right now, so why would we care that you're a conspiracy theorist? But,
yeah.
I don't know, I think there's that chance, like you said, of him, getting a triple threat match with them, but also, in my opinion, if he does lose, I could also see it be, like, a sense of, during this match, KO comes out.
I could too.
Because we have not seen Kevin Owens since Rumble at all. I don't know if they actually really messed him up that bad, so we haven't seen him or what happened.
I mean, maybe.
But I think KO could come out, and then it could be a sense of KO and Sami Zayn versus the Usos at Mania.
Okay.
And that could be a sense of the Usos lose their belts to those two, because Cody, we know, backs up Sami. So he'd be like, hey, I'm going to win my match tonight. You need to win yours. Like, You didn't have your chance against Roman. I will take it from here, but now you have a chance to mess up a different part of the bloodline. Because I think Jay is going to betray Sammy. I think he's going to.
I think he's going to.
I don't
too.
think they're gonna have Jay be like, I'm the new person. Like,
I mean, but they could though. Like if
that's true. That's true.
If he doesn't turn on Sammy, all right, and something happens, they could bring back like the main event Jey Uso thing.
That's
they
true.
could bring back that rivalry, like, because the whole bloodline started was because of the Roman and Jay rivalry, right?
When Sammy was like, I acknowledge you, Jay.
He new tribal chief.
He said that.
I mean, he's teasing it. That's what I'm like. I could see it. I don't know. I mean, if this whole thing doesn't end up happening, like, let's say Roman's reign continues past Mania. Let's say he beats Sammy and he beats Cody, because at the end of the day, everybody keeps saying, "Oh, what if Roman loses?" Then he wins, and he wins, and then he wins, and then he wins, and then he wins. And I don't know. I mean, I could see a potential, like, he wins that match and then he just walks around all high and mighty for a while, and Jay is back in the bloodline, and then going up to SummerSlam, turn.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's another way that they could do that whole thing with Jey Uso, but
yeah, I think it's
obviously it's long term.
Yeah, I mean, the hard thing about that is he has those tag belts. So, yeah, it would be hard for him to go into a main event and then be like, yeah, Jay's the reigning tag champ, and we're pushing him for the main title. Like, it would just be a lot. Don't get me wrong, they already overworked the Usos. Like, we see the Usos on our screen twice a week. But I think it could be something cool if it was the Usos lose their tag belts at Mania in some capacity. I don't know with who. And then let's say Sammy does leave Mania with a belt, or or Cody, or somebody. And we were talking about, even if Sammy wins the belt at Mania and has it for like 3 or 4 months and loses it, I'm okay with that. Like, I just want something different at this point. Like, they've done really well with Roman having a super long reign, but I kind of want it to go back to, like, maybe 4 to 5 month reigns at a time, like, give people a little more storyline,
a little bit more pushes.
Yeah, a little more different, just mix it up a little bit. But it could be a sense of Sammy wins the belt, and then they obviously, if Roman loses, they're gonna give Roman a bit of a break, in my opinion.
He deserves a break.
Even though Roman is technically part-time, I mean, what do you have,
company. Like 15, 18 matches this year or something?
Yeah, Roman only wrestles like twice a year at this point. Not really, but I think it could be a sense of then Sammy versus Jay at SummerSlam. Because I think that it could be a sense of, well, we don't know how Sammy's going to react to winning the belt. They might have him actually turn heel completely, because it might be like, I just beat the biggest person in the WWE. What about it? And then Jay's like, well, remember all I did for you back then? Like, remember...
Yeah, you remember me?
Yeah, and he's just going to be like, what? I don't care. And then Jay, if he doesn't have the belt anymore, they might give Jay another push. I don't know, but again, I think what's so great about the storyline is we try to predict what happens every time with the bloodline. We have been wrong every time.
Every time.
Literally every time. Like, we knew, the only thing we somewhat predicted is that Sammy was going to turn at Rumble. We didn't know how. We predicted that wrong, but I do see the thing how somebody said Roman was having flashbacks when Sammy hit him with the chair.
Yeah, from when Seth...
They're like, wow, Roman gets hit with the back, literally with a chair all the time by his, like, best friend. But, no, I think there's a lot of factors. Kevin Owens is a factor. The Usos actually being at Elimination Chamber is a factor. I think Solo is always a factor, even though he's kind of just there. Paul Heyman is a factor. It's just... I think we really want Sammy to win, but I don't think he will, unfortunately. But I don't know. I think, don't get me wrong, I give great props to Triple H. I think he's been doing amazing. The storyline is great. It's amazing storytelling. I said that promo with Cody and Sammy is one of the best promos I've seen in a really long time.
It was a great promo. It was so good.
It was so good. And I think I love what they're doing with Cody. I was a little against Cody winning the Rumble because it was just super obvious, but I think what they've been doing with him is really good because Cody's great on the mic. Like, he's a great wrestler. He's fun to watch. Yeah. But I think that the whole reason it I just I mean at the end of the day it's simply said that we rarely talk about this Cody versus Roman match, and we have been only talking about this Sami and Roman match. And I think that might be
Yeah.
because it's sooner than the other one, but it's the fact that no one has said a word, at least fans wise. We are only talking about Sami and Roman, and does that not say something? That
Exactly.
we want a storyline that has been building up forever to be our main event at Mania and all this like pressure on top of it, like have it be a huge thing. And that's why I was so against Cody winning, because yes, Cody has the my dad blah, 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 like came back, I deserve it, there's not one royal family in wrestling, blah, whatever. But I think that it's hard because Cody doesn't have that bad blood with Roman, so it makes the stakes a little bit lower from an outside perspective. Like, obviously, the stakes for everybody is the championship. Whoop-de-doo. But, like,
Yeah.
it's just when we have something like Sami and Roman, we're like, well, of course we want Sami to win. Sami said it. He's like, I was behind the bloodline the whole time.
Yeah.
You weren't there. He's like, I was in the trenches, man. Like, you don't get it. Like, I saw everything, so. Sami Zayn!
Yeah.
Let's do it!
Put the belt on Sami.
Do it, please. But I'm setting myself up for disappointment.
And then, yeah, I mean, I say expect Roman to win, but be excited if something else happens.
Dude, we will go absolutely feral if Sami wins.
Mhm.
I'm gonna freak out, like literally freak out if he wins.
Yeah.
Which is, I'm just now making my hopes up even more, and they're just gonna get squashed.
They're just gonna get crushed.
But no, but it will be an amazing match. I think it will be really good. I love watching Sami wrestle, so
Mhm.
he's a great wrestler.
Yeah, we're really excited for it, as you can tell. But yeah, so that kind of covers every match that we have. I think it should be really exciting to kind of see how they make this elimination chamber, like how it ends, and just see how they're going to build it into Mania with so much time in between.
Yeah. Also, fun fact: we're going to the Raw before Mania.
Yes,
The
sir.
last Raw before Mania. We have tickets. It's in Phoenix, so I'm excited.
Yeah, and when we're there, you can see all of our social medias.
Yeah.
Essential
Oh,
Sports
it's-
Pod on Twitch or on Instagram and TikTok, ES Podcast on Twitter, and ES Podcast, which you're watching right now on YouTube. Kind of on our Instagram and our Twitter. I'll be posting live updates when we're there, and just videos, and just kind of keeping you involved so you can just kind of see whenever we go to like big events like that, so you can feel like you're with us.
I'll only really be a part of wrestling events.
Yeah.
Because I don't really care that much about other sports, but
Yeah.
wrestling.
Yeah, so whenever there's kind of a big pay-per-view, we're gonna have Leah come on and join me, and we're gonna do little segments, and I don't know what it's gonna be called. We're gonna do maybe a little bit of a ESP, the wrestling cast. I don't know, something random.
I don't want it to be that.
I don't know. We'll
Okay.
figure something out. We'll just be, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But anyway, thank you guys for listening. We really enjoyed it, and again, this is the Essential Sports Podcast. My name is Tyler, and this is my guest Leah, and we're out.